Hello viewers, I'm here with a tutorial video, an actual helpful tutorial video. Uh, so people who try to start a YouTube channel usually think that they need lots of gear and lots of good raw footage to get their channel going, but that's only partially true. What really carries your channel through its beginning stages and through all stages really is video editing. It's like just the post-production part of that video is what's going to carry it. It's what's going to entertain people. Sure, you might have some great raw footage, but it's still just raw footage. There might be a couple jokes in there that'll be good, but some people might not be into that. Some people want to see more action. Some people want to see just the highlights. And what a lot of people want to use when they think of video editing is Adobe Premiere or Adobe After Effects or Sony Vegas and all those things. Those video editors cost money. They're like a subscription service, and they're quite frankly not worth it because there's a very good free alternative, which is I've actually used Premiere, an older version of Premiere. I wouldn't say getting Premiere is worth it when there's this free alternative that I'm going to show you, which can do so much more because it's got Fusion integrated. It's called Davinci Resolve. Davinci Resolve 15 is the version I use. It's from 2018, so it's not too old. But there seems to be a lot of tutorials for Resolve 15 online. Resolve 17 just came out, and there's lots of cool features there too. So first we want to start off by just simply installing the program. This is the website you want to go to, blackmagicdesign.com/support/family, all this stuff. I'll include the link to this website in the description, just so that you can easily access it, and so that you can easily download the software. So what you want to do is you want to go to this area here, the latest downloads category, and you want to, you want to scroll down a long time, or for a short while, honestly. It's not that long. But you want to scroll down until you see Davinci Resolve 15. This is the one that you want to get. You don't want to get Resolve 15 Studio because this is a paid version which has integrated Fusion effects and stuff, but if you're doing normal video editing like gaming and you're not trying to make a full-length feature film, this is all you need. If you're on Windows, you click this button here. If you're on Mac OS X, you click this here. Hopefully you're not using Mac OS 9 on like an old Power Macintosh. So this should work for you, all you Mac users out there. And then for the Linux users, you click over here. So it'll install a moderately sized zip folder. I believe it's a little under 1 gigabyte. I'm not sure. I think it is. But yeah, that's how you install the program. And so now let's just get to the actual software itself because it started to load. Okay, so when you start up DaVinci Resolve, this is the window you're going to see, sorry. So we're going to make a new project, and we're just going to call this one Pro 1. And so, to get the footage for your video, it's super easy. You just open up your File Explorer, and then you just get whatever footage you want. You go to your videos folder or something, wherever your OBS videos are, or wherever any videos are. And then you just click and drag over to here. If it says the clips have a different frame rate than the current project settings, click change. Let's add in some other footage. Let's add in this one. So now we can minimize our File Explorer. And now you click and drag this onto the timeline. Like that. So here you press the spacebar to play the video as you normally would. Nah, I'm gonna do melodica now because it's easier. And then you can just hear the audio. You have a different audio strip down here. And what's cool is you can highlight the audio strip by pressing Control and then the audio strip. And then you can move it to sync it up with different videos. You can move it separate from the actual video. Or, oh, just kidding. Can you delete just the audio clip? Let me see if my macro for cut will work. Yes, if you press Control X or Command X, if you're on Mac, you can cut out just the audio and have silent footage. So in case you want to import something from Audacity, you can always do that. And then Control Z will undo it, so your audio will still be there. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry. So, this area over here is the zoom in and zoom out feature for the timeline, which will just make the timeline at the bottom appear more compact or more expanded to let you edit stuff in more detail. Like, let's say, because it's hard to cut out a certain part if you want it to be like, if you want it to be like in a sound cue, it's a lot easier if you zoom in a bit so you can find out exactly where in the sound waves there's like a dip or a cut, so that way you can more easily split the video. Splitting video, perfect segue to it. I'm going to mute this for a sec. So, splitting video is important. Splitting video is probably one of the most important things you need to do in video editing to create quick cuts. For example, let me split out this part here where me and the guys stop talking. And the split command is Control B or Command B if you're on Mac. And so I have a macro for that, of course. So press Control B and then your clip will be split. But let's say that you have multiple clips. Let me drag in a second Picross clip just for fun. Drag in this one. Actually, no. What was a good one? What was a good one? I'll just try this one. So, another thing that's cool about Resolve is you have infinite layers. And what's cool about layers is you can put lots of media on top of each other. And then if you click over here to transform the media, let me make this a bit bigger. Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away. If you click on one of these clips, on one of these blue sections over here, you'll see a little red border appear around them. This means that this is the selected clip or the highlighted clip. So whatever you do, like whether it be cut or transform or crop, it'll only affect that clip. So this little button, there's two ways to resize or transform a clip. Let's just try with this clip over here. I'm actually going to remove this with Control X. So with this clip over here, let's say we want to make it a little bit bigger. So there's two ways to do this. You can click over here, and it'll bring up a standard transform thing around it, transform guidelines, and then you can just stretch it out as you please. You can expand it like this. You can make it just as big as you want. I'll Control Z that. Or what you can do, you can click it again to turn off the guidelines. You can go over to this transform tab in the inspector, which is over here. If you need anything, you just click inspector over here. Oh, that's cool. You can choose what is included. So now it'll show you the input and output. You click inspector over here to bring this area up. Always keep this part open. And then you can drag this zoom slider. This is a lock icon, which means like it'll stay uniform. If you disable the lock icon, then you can like stretch it out or expand it as you please. And that's how I do some of the funny stuff that I do with Armin. So those are the ways to transform your video clips. Now back to cutting. And I'm going to reset the zoom over here. You can reset the zoom back to default by pressing this little reset button over here. Come to think of it, I should probably move my macro keyboard out because I'm only going to use the regular keyboard for text, which I can get into in a bit. So, for cuts.
Wait, what happened?
Let's say that I don't want. Let's say that I don't want this part of Michael saying what happened and me saying nah for some reason. Press Control B again to split, then highlight the clip by clicking on the clip, left clicking, and then you press Control X to get rid of the clip. Then click on the blank space and press the delete button, and then it gets rid of it. I wouldn't recommend pressing the delete button entirely for the clip because of some audio issues that might come up if you have a music track underneath it. So just always use Control X and then delete the empty space later. So now,
Wait, what happened?
those two video clips have been cut.
Wait, what happened?
I'm gonna do melodica now because it's easier. So, let's say that I want this part here of me saying, I want the melodica now, it's easier. What if I want that to be my intro? Well, if you're removing a clip off the end of something, just press the delete button and it's gone. So now the intro is this. I'm gonna do melodica now because it's easier. That's the intro clip. So, because I've finished like my sort of intro sentence, I can split that again with Control B. What I must say, if there's two clips, always highlight the clip and then press Control B. Because I'm only using one clip, you don't need to do it. Yo, what's good, speedrun mods? It's your boy Troopakid, also known as Colonel Koopa. So let's say here I wanted to add some pictures. I'll split this just to add like a little workstation, a little workspace over here. Then let me get a picture. I'll click and drag this photo of me, this picture of me, sorry. And the standard picture length is 7 seconds, but you can adjust it by clicking and holding here and then dragging on this little growth icon over here. It's cool, you can just discover new things about it. But let's say I want this picture to appear as soon as I say, it's your boy Troopakid 135. Yo, what's good, speedrun mods? It's your boy Troopakid, also known as Colonel Koopa. So, you just look for the audio cues, really. It's your boy Troopakid. See, right about there is where my audio cues are. And to advance frame by frame, which is super useful, you can press left and right on the arrow keys. And that gives you a lot more precision if you want to time stuff right. So I start saying it around there. Now I can adjust it accordingly, and it'll be perfectly timed. Mods, it's your boy Troopakid, also known as Colonel Koopa. There you go. And let's say I want to resize just this clip. You highlight it, then you either press this. I prefer using these little sliders on the side just because you can get a little more precision with them. And then let's say I want to make him a little bit smaller. I'll just drag this to the right. And there we go. But let's say that I want this to zoom in. Now, with this software, it's not as easy as you drag in a zoom in transition or an effect and then it just does it for you. You have to actually do it manually. But it's not that hard. Hold on, let me get some water. Right. So it's not that hard to make things zoom in or to make animations within Davinci Resolve. For example, near the end of the X-Men Legends video I did with Armin and Zack, I did a cool animation of Armin throwing Zack across the screen. That was done without any external software, using only the inspector over here, which is super cool. And they're as I said, they're really easy. So go to the beginning of your clip, highlight your clip, and then whatever size it is now, go to the zoom area and press this little button over here. This is the keyframe button. What the keyframe button does is it sets a starting position for an animation or for an effect. So now, what you want to do is you want to go to the end of your clip, and then you want to, the last frame, sorry, you can use it with left and right arrow keys to find the last frame that your picture is in frame, and then zoom it out to however big you want it to be. Now this is the ending position. So, it's your boy Troopakid, also known as Colonel Koopa. We now have a zoom in effect. So there you go. That's how you do animations. And now to do transitions like fading, you don't need to click or drag anything onto a clip. What's super cool is look. These little, do you see these little dots over here? These are the fading dots. And when you drag it, there's this little black triangle that appears. It's hard to see because it's a black clip, but maybe you can see it going over the little screenshot of Picross, and that'll be how long your fade is, or how slow the fade out is. Look. I'm gonna do melodica now, because it's easier. It's as simple as that. Same thing for audio fading. You can move it to the same point.
I'm gonna do melodica now because it's easier.
And you can link up your fades perfectly. Super easy to do. I would totally recommend taking advantage of it. And a fade in too. Fade ins are also possible.
I'm gonna do melodica now because it's easier.
Now, perhaps you wanted to add some B-roll footage. Let's say you're making a tech video and you want some B-roll. Okay. So, you see, that's the problem. If you press, I pressed delete there. When you press delete, it deletes everything within that time frame. So always press Control X instead. So, let's say you want some B-roll. Easy. Let's drag some extra footage just as an example. And split the footage to however long you want it to be. So left-click the footage, press Control-B. Left-click the part of the footage you don't want, and press Control-X. And remember, for a B-roll, you don't want audio. So click on your B-roll clip, then Control-click or Command-click, if you're on Mac, to the audio. Once again, press Control-X, and then the audio is gone. And now you just have these clips. So, when it says, it's your boy Troopakid135, it'll show a different clip with the same audio.
Okay, now, because it's easier. Yo, what's good, speedrun mods? It's your boy Troopakid, also known as Colonel Koopa.
See? There's your different clip. It's just an example, but that's how you can include B-roll in your stuff. So, oh, text. Yes, we need text. We Control-X this. I forgot. We need text. So you want to go to Titles in your toolbox area, and then just do text. Then you put the text over to here. Make the text as long as you want it to be. And then let's just set the color, let's set the text color to black. You have a standard color square there. And then let's just type this to you know what? We need something that's easily recognizable. How about some yellow? Let's make it yellow. It's still a little weird. So, again, this is kind of a bad example because it's white and then some black in the background, but just set the text to whatever color you want. You can choose the font. It's Microsoft fonts, not Google fonts, so if you download something custom, like for example, I have the Tapeman font. Yep, Tapeman. Then it changes to like a Walkman style font, which I think is pretty cool. But then what I use in the Pog Show isn't normal text. I use Text Plus, which is something that you do in Fusion. Oh, again, I pressed delete. I'm sorry. Control X. There we go. So Text Plus is cool. It incorporates Fusion, which is like Davinci Resolve on steroids. It's crazy cool. So Text Plus is the same as text. Normal text. We can just type in the normal thing. Troopakid. But you see here, this is just white text. It's hard to read. So you click on the shading tab over here. Then you go to select element. And you go to 2. Sort by priority. Yeah, sure. And you have to click enable over here. So now you have an outline. You see there's another color over here. This, in the properties area, this is your outline. So let's turn this to black. And then you can change the thickness over here with this dial. So there we go. That's much more readable now. And so you can go to the normal text and then change it to yellow, as I normally do for the Pog Show. And there you go. And then just set it to whatever font you want again. The font I use for Pog Show is Chaparral Pro, just because it looks nice. And there you go. Some bordered text. So that's pretty much all you need to know for Resolve. Hopefully this helped. And if there's anything else that you need, if there's anything else that you're having trouble with, or if there's anything you need to figure out in Resolve, just let me know. I might do a video on chroma key later so you can use green screen with this, but who knows. Alright, That's it for now. This is Troopakid signing off.